Welcome to the Melrose Unitarian Universalist Church. Our service today is called Somebody to Lean On. Good morning. Well done. It says I have to wait until you say it back. So, all right. I'm John. My pronouns are he and him. I'm the worship host today. It's great to be here. Let's have a quick shout out to our other helpers today. Thank you to Usher Garen Boyd and to our greeter Kathy Sang, and thank also John and Janice and Dawn Bissix, who are making our very important coffee. Now, let's say hi to all our church friends, near, far and near. Turn and greet the folks here, and let's wave to our friends on Zoom. Okay. Yeah, it is on, but I didn't have it close.
Hi, I'm Nancy Free, and I was asked to call us together this morning, to call us to worship with these words from Manal, a refugee from Syria. A refugee is a person whose soul and everything he loves has been taken from him. A person who has to smile while he cries inside. A person who has to carry on and pretend that everything is okay when everything is totally opposite. Being a refugee is not only leaving a country, it's much more than that. You leave your everything and remain empty. You sleep and wake up alone as a stranger.
I invite you now to rise in body or in spirit and join me in the words of our covenant, which you can see on the screen. Love is a doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. This is our great covenant, one with another and with our God. And now please remain standing. Our first hymn is number 159 in the gray hymnal, This Is My Song. The words will be on the screen.
Good morning. My name's Michelle DeVoe, she, her, hers. The title of today's story is We Came to America. It was written and illustrated by Faith Ringgold. Faith Ringgold is a celebrated multimedia artist, best known for her quilts depicting political struggle, Black life, and Black history. I wanted to start by reading the dedication. We Came to America is dedicated to all the children who came to America. May they find peace, freedom, and prosperity in their new home. May we welcome them and inspire them to sustain a love and a dedication to peace, freedom, and justice for all. We came to America, every color, race, and religion, from every country in the world. Some of us were already here before the others came, and some of us were brought in chains, losing our freedom and our names. We came to America, every color, race, and religion, from every country in the world. We traveled from our birthplace by boat and by plane. Some of us came running from injustice, fear, and pain. When we came to America, every color, race, and religion, from every country in the world, we brought along our joyful songs, our stories, wise and true. Our music colored the air, beautiful sounds and patterns everywhere. Our joyful dance now freed our pain, gently like soothing rain. We came to America, every color, race, and religion, from every country in the world. In spite of where we came from, or how or why we came, we are all Americans, just the same. That's the end of our story. Thanks to everybody for listening. Now the children may go to their class.
Michelle, that was lovely. Every Sunday, in the center of our service, we share a time of quiet contemplation, a moment for each of us to reconnect with our inner spirit. Let's begin by getting in touch with our bodies, feeling our feet on the floor, relaxing into our seats. Let's breathe in and out together. In, out. In this meditation time, first we'll join together in our centering song, and then we'll sit for a few minutes of shared silence. Then we will speak to one another of our joys and sorrows, and then Alex will lead a prayer. Our worship theme for March are transformation and the 6th UUA principle, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Our centering song for the month is number 377 in the Gray Hymnal, In Greening Lands. Lyrics will appear on the screen with Tom, and the choir will lead us in singing. Join in as you like, and let the song guide you gently into our shared silence. Didn't check that before I started. All right. It is our practice here to share with one another the milestones of our lives, our personal joys and sorrows. We speak and listen with care so that sharing may strengthen the bonds of our community. First, if folks on Zoom have a sorrow to share today, please type it into the chat box now, and Liz will read them aloud. And if the folks here in the room have a sorrow to speak, you may come forward now. As there are none in Zoom, thank you all for sharing these joys, which help to connect us and remind us all of the beauty of living. And now, Garen lights one more candle to shine out our thanks for all the many blessings in our lives.
Hi, I'm Paul Belfonte. I'd like to share this poem by Ijoma Umebinyo from her collection, Questions for Ada. Is it not? Okay. Here's to the security guards who maybe had a degree in another land. Here's to the manicurist who had to leave her family to come here, painting the nails, scrubbing the feet of strangers. Here's to the janitors who don't understand English yet work hard despite it all. Here's to the fast food workers who work hard to see their families smile. Here's to the laundryman at the Marriott who told me with a sparkle in his eyes how he was an engineer in Peru. Here's to the bus driver, the Turkish Sufi who almost danced when I quoted Rumi. Here's to the harvesters who live in fear of being deported for coming here to open the road for their future generation. Here's to the taxi drivers from Nigeria, Ghana, Egypt, and India who gossip among themselves. Here is to them waking up at 4 a.m., calling home to hear the voices of their loved ones. Here is to their children, to the children who, despite it all, become artists, writers, teachers, doctors, lawyers, activists, and rebels. Here's to international money transfer, for never forgetting home. Here's to their children who carry the heartbeats of their motherland and even in sleep, speak with pride about their fathers. Keep on.
Now is the time for our offertory. Our church is a self-supporting organization funded by your generous and annual pledge. You may also contribute to our weekly collection plate, which we split every month with a deserving cause. Folks on Zoom can donate either way using the orange button at the top right corner of our homepage at melroseuu.org. For the month of March, we are proud to share half of our collection plate with the Opening Doors Project, an organization which grew out of one of this church's ministry teams. The Opening Doors Project seeks to amplify voices of color and advance conversations about race through the arts. Our anthem today is called A Safe Place to Land by Bareilles and McKinnon.
Thank you, choir. This past Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the Immigrant Support Alliance sponsored an information session at Temple Beth Shalom for anyone interested in learning about hosting an immigrant in their home. The following video is an interview with one of our past hosts, Debbie Kivel, interviewed by a member of the ISA, Sue Hers.
The mom and 4 kids came here from Uganda, had not lived in anybody's Western home before, and they moved in with Debbie. And so my question to Debbie is, I know that I and a lot of people hesitate before inviting anybody into our homes. We sort of think like, wait till the money's right, or the moment's right, or we have enough space, or enough time, or that life is going well. And then we'll invite somebody. So was that your situation? Was life going just fabulously? So you said, I'll open my door?
No, lots of people have empty space, have children who go off to college. I had an empty house. My husband had died many years ago, and my children were married and had moved away. And then my older son passed away at 61 years old from cancer. So I was kind of depressed. And when the idea of having other people live in the house came up, I wanted it. I really did. And there was a time when there was a second home that was a possibility. And I thought they were going to choose it because I'm not near public transportation and I don't drive. All I can offer is space. I can offer bedrooms and bathrooms. That's all. They were going to do their own cooking. I wouldn't do the food. And I was looking forward to it. Yeah, I really was.
And did it turn out the way you expected?
Well, as far as I didn't expect the greetings. When you leave, they all say goodbye. When you come back, they really greet you, with hugs and kisses and glad to see you. That was wonderful. The youngest one would sing songs and dance. There was music. There was life in the house. That was good. But I thought immigrants would come with very little stuff. They wouldn't have clothes. So I could get them a few drawers. But everybody gave them stuff. The house was full of stuff. There were several doors you could no longer go in and out of. But yes, yeah, that was a downer. The food part was fine. That worked out very well. The organization took care of it. I would say that I was disappointed that they didn't talk around the dining room table, because that was our main focus. They did speak English, which was wonderful. And they were very neat. I just wanted conversation at the table, and they wanted to eat at the table. So that wasn't the center of it. Yeah.
And what about, like, appliances? Did they know how to use everything in the house, or how did that work?
Not quite. The washing machine, I thought was fine. The dryer, I thought was fine. But they didn't know you couldn't put Clorox in with clothes. And they ruined a lot of the clothes they had been given. They learned, though, and then they did their own laundry. They didn't know you couldn't put metal in the microwave. And when I saw a metal dish going into the microwave, I screamed, "No!" And they scolded me for yelling at them, but yes. That was all. That was all. So they were very neat about themselves. They were very clean. The house was better off for having them. Yeah, I was certainly better off for having had them. And somebody asked me, would I consider having somebody again? And I would. Not right away, not when these people left. I was glad to get my house back again. I did miss them, but I was glad to get the house back again. But would I do it again? Yeah, I certainly would. Yeah.
Can everybody hear me? Yeah. Well, we are so happy that Debbie Kivel, the star of this video, accepted our invitation to join us today. Debbie is a longtime member of Temple Beth Shalom and a good friend of Beth and Tug Yorgrau. Recently, Paul and I were honored to attend Debbie's 90th birthday celebration at the temple, where she received the Global Citizens Award and where a special fund to support the temple's social action committee was announced in her name. Debbie, just please stand up and wave to everybody so they see you. Now I'd like to share some news about the Immigrant Support Alliance, and I'd like to acknowledge several members of the ISA. Of course, Nancy Free is here with us today. Those who couldn't be with us are Elsa, Gretchen, and Kathy Kellyher. What? Gretchen is here? Hi, Gretchen, welcome back. How funny. Okay.
And I just want, oops, yeah, switch, okay. And I just want to thank all of you for making ISA the Giving Beyond Our Walls recipient in February. We really appreciate your support. As many of you know, the work that Michelle and I have taken on to welcome new immigrants into our community and support them on their journey to independence began with the formation of the immigration ministry here in our UU congregation. We began by joining a group of faith-based organizations that partnered with a local resettlement agency that introduced us to clients and provided caseworkers and other resources to help us with the many services needed to acclimate new arrivals, connect them to resources, and build their skills so they could become contributing members of our community. Last year, we announced the launch of the Immigrant Support Alliance, or ISA, which was designed to give us more options on which resettlement organizations we work with, bring new people and energy into our group, and give us more flexibility in fulfilling our mission of settling new arrivals and setting them up for success and independence. Looking back, it's been an eventful year, full of ups and downs, challenges, frustrations, but also progress, serendipity, and optimism for the future. While winding down our formal support for our client Moboba from Afghanistan, who's doing great, by the way, we began organizing how ISA would function going forward. We started defining procedures, planning for our website and other communication tools, and preparing for our next client or clients. In June, we were approved to sponsor a woman from Haiti through the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Humanitarian Parolee Program, and we are still waiting word on her status. In the meantime, we pursued other options to take a client into a host home, but those ultimately fell through for reasons too complicated to relate, despite enormous effort by some of our members. It's been really frustrating. Part of what we're dealing with is the urgency that you all know about running into bureaucracy, and frankly, it's been driving us a little crazy. But
on a more positive note, the Kujas are an Afghan family living in Lynn who came to our attention through a group similar to ours in Cambridge. The family consists of a mom and dad and their 17-year-old son. And they've been really struggling to advance, mostly due to language. The father worked for the U.S. Army compound in Kabul for 16 years, maintaining the living quarters. When the Taliban took over, they had no choice but to leave their country. Kuja took pride in his work and hopes to do something similar in the U.S. He showed me many certificates of accommodation that he has received over the years from the Army. Rahima, the mother, a housewife in Afghanistan, as part of the Afghan Women's Workshop at the New American Center, where the Kujas are clients, is making crafts to sell at fairs throughout the greater Boston area. The program teaches the women about money and helps to advance their language skills. Once the ISA agreed to help this family, Elsa, along with Maggie, a new member of the ISA, teamed up to gain a better understanding of the family's most pressing needs. They met with representatives from the New American Center, and from there they developed a plan to begin tutoring them in English. Elsa is a retired ESL instructor, so she knew exactly where to begin. She had been meeting with the parents regularly until she was called to Columbia, so I stepped in to instruct them once a week. But because I'm not a trained ESL instructor, I was a little concerned. But those concerns soon disappeared as we sat down at their kitchen table. The experience has been both challenging and joyful, especially when they tried to teach me a word or two in Afghan. The two languages are so very different, but the Kujas are making steady progress with their English. I have grown really fond of Rahima and Kuja. They offer me tea at the end of our lesson, and we attempt to have a conversation about what Rahima is crafting for the women's group, or the number of hours Kuja is working at Market Basket, or their family back home in Afghanistan. Elsa will return at the end of the month, but I'm hoping to continue my relationship with this gentle family. If you ever have the thought that you would like to do something to help an immigrant, I highly recommend it. The experience will enrich your life while you're lending a hand.
And in the meantime, the ISA has gotten a lot of attention recently. Leading up to our host home event, we got some very unwanted attention from none other than Fox News' Laura Ingraham, which triggered some truly vitriolic emails through our website. It was really pretty bad. But that in turn resulted in some very positive publicity, including 4 print or online articles, some featuring other groups like ours as well, and a live interview on BUR's Radio Boston. This attention generated many requests to join our mailing list, learn more about hosting, and ask about other ways to help. We've gotten several cash donations, and 7 to 10 new people have joined our group directly. With all the negative sentiments being directed towards the influx of new immigrants to our state, it's been truly heartening to hear from so many people who genuinely want to help. We are currently working with Catholic Charities to confirm a family that we will be supporting, as well as a possible host home client. And we are exploring relationships with other resettlement agencies such as the International Institute of New England, and we are establishing a partnership with a team in Malden that will sponsor a refugee from Ethiopia currently stranded in South Africa. And by stranded, what I mean is this woman was a graduate student in South Africa, and while she was studying there, civil war broke out in Ethiopia, and her family was murdered. And so she can't return to Ethiopia, but South Africa is not a welcome place for immigrants and refugees. So this group in Malden, who is a friend of hers, is working to sponsor them. It may take a year for them to be able to come over, but we're gonna help provide the critical mass to the program that will allow them to bring them over. We're also growing our network of groups who do similar work in our area to share best practices, explore partnership opportunities. So in conclusion, we are happy to report that we are continuing to do what we do best, actively support clients as they begin their journey in our country and in our community. And now, please rise in body and spirit to join us in our closing hymn, Lean on Me, by Bill Withers.
All right. That was amazing. I'm not supposed to do this right now, but what a lovely service. What a wonderful service you guys perform, your whole organization. Please remain standing and join me as we say the words to extinguishing the flame, though I'm supposed to extinguish the flame. There we go. We extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our service has ended. Please enjoy a brief postlude from Tom before gathering for coffee hour in Parish Hall. Thank you for worshiping with us today.